Welcome to Firefighting in Canada this week. I'm Brieanna Charlebois, and today's edition is brought to you by VFIS of Canada, a division of CVIS Incorporated, Canada's largest insurer of firefighters. This week, the first Aerial Firefighting Conference is set to take place in BC in March. Then, in our latest podcast, Deputy Chief of Operations in Strathmore, Alberta, Judy Unsworth, discusses diversity in the fire service. And the Mississauga Firefighters Benevolent Fund raised $58,000 for the Trillium Health Partners towards the cancer care program at 3 local hospitals. Wildfire leaders from across Canada will come together for the inaugural Aerial Firefighting Conference on March 31st. The event takes place at Abbotsford International Airport in BC and is presented by Wings and Helicopters magazines in partnership with Firefighting in Canada, Canadian Firefighter, and Canadian Forestry Industries. The event will showcase a range of sector suppliers to discuss their newest technologies and services. The Aerial Firefighting Conference will also feature 5 primary presentations to provide critical business information for aviation operators and fire agencies involved in the wildfire service. This will include presentations from leaders of Viking Air, Babcock Canada, Conair, and the Helicopter Association of Canada. It will also feature an industry panel discussion with fire agencies and operators focusing on areas like safety management, low-vis ops, air traffic management, service procurement, and trends and data. For more information about the Aerial Firefighting Conference, or to register, visit aviationforum.ca. In our latest episode of the Firefighting in Canada podcast, sponsored by Draeger, Judy Unsworth, Deputy Chief of Operations at the Strathmore Fire Department in Alberta, chronicles her career highlights and provides insight into what it's like to be a woman in the industry. Starting as a volunteer firefighter in 1997, she slowly moved up the ranks, eventually becoming a career fire chief. She also helped start a fire service from scratch and recently won the CAFC Volunteer Fire Chief of the Year award. On the podcast, she discusses the logistics of starting a fire service and the dynamics of being a woman leader in the fire industry.
I think the volunteer fire service is leap years ahead of us in the full-time fire service for diversity and inclusion. Our volunteer departments see diversity because that is what the community looks like. There's no option. Typically, they're smaller communities, and they need people to come in and fill the job, and then they teach them how to do it. In our full-time service, we look for people who are qualified to do the job. The most recent statistics I could find was from 2008 that say 3.7% of all firefighters in North America are women. I'm imagining the minority number is even lower than that. So I think diversity is absolutely still an essential topic that we have to keep first and foremost in mind.
She also discusses the importance of mental wellness within the fire service and the positive shift in relation to this issue in recent years. You can check out the full podcast by visiting firefightingincanada.com. The Mississauga Firefighters Benevolent Fund raised $58,000 for the cancer care program at 3 local hospitals. For the 5th year in a row, the group made t-shirts, received local sponsorships, painted a fire truck pink, and spent weekends from September 28th to November 1st touring the community, selling t-shirts and raising money for the oncology departments at Trillium Health Partners hospitals. Brian Doucette is the fire prevention inspector for the Mississauga Fire Department. He also helps organize the annual fundraiser. He said that each year they have consistently increased the amount raised.
This year, we sold more shirts than we ever have. The first year, I think we did 17,000. The next year was 27, and the following year was 35, and then 56, and then 58 was this year. So we're still progressively on the incline and ramping up already for next year's campaign. Look forward to doing this again for Trillium Health Partners and raising even more money for the cancer care program there.
This is Annex Business Media's Niche TV. Thanks again to VFIS of Canada, a division of CVIS Incorporated, Canada's largest insurer of firefighters. Stay tuned for our next episode on Friday, February 14th.